Hi, I'm Ella, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be reviewing John Green's Turtles All the Way Down. I have been waiting what feels like an eternity for a new John Green book to come out, and I was so excited about getting this book. First thing though, before we even get started on what's inside this book, let's just appreciate the outside for a minute, because oh my god, this cover is the special limited edition jacket, and if you take it off, not only is this just so shiny, but on the inside, you have this. And it's got some of my all-time favourite John Green quotes on it ever. And I nearly cried when I saw it because it's just all this beautiful writing in one place. It's got some of my favourite quotes, such as, "You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, but you do have some say in who hurts you." I like my choices. So I walked back to my room and collapsed on the bottom bunk, thinking that if people were rain, I was drizzle and she was a hurricane. And obviously, my thoughts are stars that I can't fathom into constellations. Just how beautiful are all of these quotes? I still can't quite grasp how one person can spout so much beautiful writing. And another one! "I fell in love the way you fall asleep. Slowly, then all at once." Anyway, before I start just reciting everything that is on this cover because it's so beautiful, I'm gonna get back to the book. Okay, right. Put the cover back on again. So, while I'm on the topic of John Green writing so beautifully, he doesn't fail again here. I just love reading his work. And it's not just because it all sounds amazingly beautiful and poetic and he has excellent use of metaphors, which I really love, but because he has this uncanny ability to just switch from writing so poetically and beautifully to then text speak from teenagers. And actually accurately portraying what that text speak is like. It's sometimes quite abrupt, but it works and just makes me love his writing even more. So when I first heard the name of this book, he had said it was not going to be anything about turtles, and I was aware of this fact, but I was on holiday at the same time and I went scuba diving and I saw more turtles. Like, I'd never really seen turtles before in my life, so I can't really say that I've ever seen in my life, but there were a lot of turtles. And I think I kind of fell in love a little bit. And so then hearing that this was called Turtles All the Way Down, like, I literally went on a dive and there was a wall dive and there were turtles all the way down. And it was beautiful and it made me really happy. And it's completely irrelevant to the book, it just made me happy. So like, turtles are mentioned literally twice in this, and just made me really happy every time that they were mentioned. So one thing that I really love about John Green's writing that I remembered immediately as soon as I started reading this was that he just writes about real life and that there's no big grand story. And at first you think it's going to be a big mystery. The blurb, it talks about them investigating the disappearance of an old friend's father, and so you think that's going to be the big overarching plot and it's going to be some big mystery book, but actually it's not about that. It features a bit, but that's not what the story hinges on. The story hinges on the people involved in it and their lives and their innermost thoughts and feelings and how they live and how they deal with life. And it's so refreshing and different from everything else out there. There's very few books like it, and he just writes it so well. They're so realistic. Each character has their flaws and their little things that they do. For example, the main character and her friend, they love going to Applebee's, but neither of them really have much money, and they have a massive stash of Applebee's vouchers, which they always use every time they go there. And they have this one waitress who always serves them and they can't really afford tips, so she's a bit fed up with serving them. But just that little thing of them having those Applebee's vouchers that they always use, they're such well-rounded characters and it's a pleasure to read about them. and their characters aren't just focused around what's going on, but some of their interests almost become part of the plot in their own way. The main character's best friend writes a lot of fan fiction, and that gets brought up quite a lot, and it really adds to the story. So like I said, the story isn't about some big adventure or anything. It's about these people and what they bring to their own and each other's lives. I think I also have to mention just how well John Green deals with mental illness. A lot of people criticised him for The Fault in Our Stars, saying that he was romanticising cancer and this disease and everything, and I didn't think that was the case, but I know there are a lot of people out there who did feel that, and I think if people think that this is romanticising mental health and OCD particularly, no. Just no. He doesn't dance around the topic, he just faces you with the gritty reality. He's not afraid to go deep, and sometimes it can get quite hard to read, but then at other points it's very easygoing, and I think that brilliantly reflects how mental health does work. Like, there will be days when you feel absolutely fine, and to everyone around you it all seems like you're absolutely fine, and they're like, can they really have that much wrong with them? And then on the other end of the scale, you get days where you don't know how to keep going on. And I think not only does he write about it well, but just the way that the novel is presented, it's just a really brilliant way of writing about it. And because it's about real life, a lot of the things in it are quite relatable. We may not all share the same levels of OCD, but we've all felt that little nagging voice in the back of our head going, have you really done that? Even though you know you've completely done whatever it is, like, you know you've packed everything you need for the holiday, there's always that nagging feeling in the back of your head being like, you've forgotten something, you should go back and check. And then you go back and then you haven't forgotten anything, but then you end up missing the train or something. I haven't done that before. Because John Green writes about life, it's relatable to everyone because we're all living it. And lastly, I just want to point out this little spiral here, because I love metaphors and I really relate to the spiral metaphor in this, and so yeah, just looking at this kind of makes me happy, even though it's not about a happy thing. I could go on for so long about this book, but I don't want it to get really spoilery. So I'm gonna end here. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I'd really love to hear some other thoughts about this. I don't actually know many other people who have read this book, so I would really love to talk about it with other people. Give it a like if you also enjoyed the book, and make sure to subscribe to stay updated when my next videos come out. Till next time, bye!